Alright, so this is the procedure to remove the valve cover on the 2007 to 13 Silverados that people are requesting after I showed them how to fix the oil consumption fix. I wasn't going to do a video because I thought the explanation was pretty clear, but it's quick enough and I got it in the shop. So the first thing to do is you're just going to pull off this engine cover here. It's super easy, it lifts right off, and then you basically got all of this exposed right here. I believe all these sockets are 10 mil. So the first thing you're removing here is the ignition coils. So you got one here, and then you got 2, 3, and then 4. And so those are all going to be, I believe, 10 mil. So I'm just going to grab my socket here. Yep, and I believe all the bolts on this are going to be 10 mil. So we'll start with this. So these are all going to come off. So here's one. Be careful not to drop these as you're doing it, because this is a bad place to lose any hardware. Because right above the frame and the, oh, there we go, just like that, the front axle here. Of course. And then this last one here. You can see there is kind of a lot of room. For most of these, I'm gonna have to get a hand tool for that last one. So then as you pull them off, when you pull them up, there's this clip right here on each of them. So those are all gonna come off. All right, so I just unplugged them all. You can let these hang down, or you can unplug them from spark plugs. It's not really necessary. It might be better to just leave them. So next is this bracket that's on top of the valve cover that holds the ignition coils. It's pretty much what you just unscrewed the ignition coils from. So these are 10 mil also. You're gonna need a deep socket. There's one here, and more as we go back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take them off here so you can see. So there's one in the front. There's another one right here. And then as I get further back here, it's gonna be hard for the camera to catch them. But it's looking like that's the third one. And then this pulls off. This is the fourth one here. And then there's 5, and then there's one way back here. You're gonna have to use the ratchet for that one too. So I'll get that one. And then if I didn't miss any, this should come, this is gonna lift right off and just out of the way. So let me get this off. Let's see if this does lift. Yep, so there's just the 5. So then this is just gonna lift right out of the way like this, and you can just put it up like that. So you can see now, this valve cover is pretty much entirely exposed. All right, so the only thing you got left now is these bolts. And these are 8 mil. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, pretty easy to get through. I'm not gonna actually unscrew them because I don't have another gasket. And sometimes when you pull them off, you tear the gasket. But the only thing left is removing these 4 bolts, and this pulls right off. The only real obstruction is this here, okay? So that's all, and then to put it back, you're just gonna do the same thing. You grab this bracket, line it up with the holes here, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put those 4 or 5 screws back in, those 5 screws. I'm gonna put those back in. I'm gonna put those screws back in, and then once those are back in, I'm just gonna take these ignition coils that are down here, and they are just gonna bolt back into place where they were on that bracket. And it's gonna go like this. And they only go one way. You'll see that with the barcode up, I believe. All right, and so that's how you remove the valve cover. Again, if I had a valve cover gasket, I would have taken it off and showed you, but it's really an easy step anyway. All right, so that's the removal process for the valve cover. All right, so this is everything back together. I just wanted to show you guys when you're putting this cover back on, it just snaps into place, it's easy. But you gotta watch these heater core lines, because if you don't pull these up out of the way, the cover will catch it and kink them, and then your engine will overheat. The heat won't work, all that stuff, okay? That's it.